Welcome back to Walden, a game, for part 9 of our playthrough. So the first 8 parts of this walkthrough went through 1 year at Walden Pond, Henry's first year there. And real quick, I'm going to recap the list of plants and animals that we created during that first year. So, if you were following along with the videos, you would have encountered with me the blue jay, the smooth sumac, the red huckleberry, the high bush blueberry, the hare, the black birch, the sweet pignut hickory, the oxeye daisy, bluets, blackberry, song sparrow, Indian grass, white pine, and pitch pine in early summer. In late summer, we met the white-footed mouse, the ground ivy, piper grass, mosquito, ants, cinnamon fern, tall cinquefoil, and tall anemone. In early fall, we met the woodchuck, the red maple, the creeping juniper, the groundnut, the white oak, bracken fern, eastern red spruce, and the partridge, the old man mushroom, the hay-scented fern, Pennsylvania sedge, bird's foot violet, white birch, cattail, sandbar willow, skaters or water bugs, tadpoles, blue flag flower. Then in late fall we saw the dogwood, the red squirrel, the walleye, the yellow perch, common shiner, and the mallard duck. In early winter we met the nighthawk, Canada goose. In midwinter the eastern hemlock. In late winter the red fox, the mink, and the black-capped chickadee. And then our last episode in spring, we heard the fly, we saw the ruby-throated hummingbird, we saw wild strawberry, the pasture rose, the screech owl, the wood thrush, and the bullfrog. I hope that I haven't left too many things off the list that we encountered, and there's always plenty more things I think that we could find in the game if we keep looking as we continue. But the next playthrough videos from this point forward are going to be more of kind of a cleanup, wrapping up some of the tasks that we weren't able to finish in the first year, and as we go, spending a bit more time collecting some of the achievements for the game and observing new species. So we're going to load up our early summer year 2 save. Alright, so here we are. Our house is in very poor condition, and we have very little food. I'm going to do a little bit of this maintenance to kind of keep things in good working order here. Now, one of the things we'll be going for is the Walden Millionaire achievement. So, throughout our first year at the pond, we did lots of things to accumulate money over time. And we're going to keep doing that this year. During the playthrough, we're going to plant some more beans. And I have a manuscript to mail out, which should hopefully pay pretty well. Right now we're at $52.67. And if we need to add more money, there's always odd jobs and things we can pick up at Emerson's house or chopping logs in the woods. We can check to see if there's any more surveying jobs in town. And once we have Walden Millionaire, we'll also then use the money that we've accumulated there for a couple more achievements for helping our family out, being a good son by paying the family bills, and then paying those back taxes. So it's interesting that the game gives you the choice whether you want to pay those taxes or not. Alright, our smooth sumac berries, which have gotten us through so much of the game. Once we accumulate a lot of money as well, we'll be able to buy some more of the conveniences, which is just an option that we can try now that we've... Not something I wanted to do during the first playthrough, but we'll be able to purchase some extra food jars, or, you know, a shed to store wood in. Makes things a little bit easier so that we're not constantly maintaining the necessities quite as often. I'm going to clear out the weeds and plant our beans to get our crop growing so that we can make a bit more money off of this. Oh, look at that. There's some of the, let's see, could that be the pasture rose? Can't really tell. Alright. We'll go through. Oh, don't need to plant those yet, but fine, we can do that. I guess it makes sense to just plant as I go as well, so I don't have to backtrack, so we'll just go through and plant as well. Now we're starting to get tired. Just got one row left. Oh nope, a little 2 rows actually. This might be tricky. We can get through it. Oh my gosh, there were 3 more rows. Let's count it again. Another arrowhead here.
Before yet any woodchuck or squirrel had run across the road, or the sun had got above the shrub oaks, while all the dew was on, I began to level the ranks of haughty weeds in my bean field and throw dust upon their heads. Near at hand, upon the topmost spray of a birch, sings the brown thrasher, or red mavis, as some love to call him, all the morning, glad of your society, that would find out another farmer's field if yours were not here. While you are planting the seed, he cries, drop it, cover it up, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up.
That's an excellent add to our list of species. The brown thrasher, one of the 3 common mimics that you'll encounter in the sort of eastern U.S. along with the gray catbird, which we've been hearing quite a lot in the game. But we haven't actually seen. We've heard it quite a lot. But gray catbird, and of course the northern mockingbird, perhaps the most well-known. There may be others. The starling are also European starlings are mimics as well. Really noticeable variety of songs with the brown thrasher and the gray catbird and the northern mockingbird. Just really interesting things that they pick up, that they hear and repeat.
Daily the beans saw me come to their rescue armed with a hoe and thin the ranks of their enemies, filling up the trenches with weedy dead. From under a rotten stump, my hoe turned up a sluggish, portentous, and outlandish spotted salamander, a trace of Egypt and the Nile, yet our contemporary.
Oh, we can add the spotted salamander to our list as well. Already a couple new species in our second playthrough of early summer. Well, the beans are all ready, planted. So we'll leave the bean field and start heading out towards town. Again, so much color is especially noticeable after, a big portion of the game. More than 2 hours and 15 minutes of your playthrough is this winter landscape where there's not this richness of color. Alright. While we're on the way, let's stop by Emerson's house and see if anything new has happened here. Okay.
Henry, there you are.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, we've turned in our last book to Emerson, so again you can browse those books here in his study as they're laying all over the place, the ones that are open. And read those passages if you haven't, and we can come back here and continue working as well. Now, I recall that we had a couple more animals for Agassiz as well. We needed to find 2 more mice, which, as I mentioned before, is something you commonly will find in town, so we'll keep an eye out as we go through.
Oh, here come John and Henry, Mother, back from their adventures! How was it? Did the boat sail well? Did you see beyond the horizon? Oh, you both look full of good sun and stories. I can't wait to hear them all. Tell what new flowers you found blooming first.
Oh wow, we never caught that arrowhead before. Just recalling Henry and John on their boating trip, which Henry's first book was written about. Okay, so we have the manuscript from our parents' house. We'll drop it off in outgoing mail. Check the arrowhead here.
Ah, Henry Thoreau is it then? I hear you finally got your little cabin built out there by the pond. Now, why would a man want to spend all his time alone, I ask you? Give me a good warm house and a hot dinner is what I say.
Okay, we have another surveying job, this time for the Emerson's Cliff, or the cliff area owned by Emerson. Proposed for development of a woodlot. Shame on you, Emerson. Actually, today you can, like I said, you can visit Emerson's Cliff. Hey, there's one of our white-footed mouse. And it looks like the game may have given us both. Yeah, it looks like it did. The same thing happened with the hare earlier in the game. Just a fortunate bug that allowed us to pick up both at the same time. So all of our animals have been turned in now for Agassiz. We'll get another letter in the post
Hello,
office for
Henry.
more animals.
Good evening.
Going forward. But for right now, our only odd jobs are surveying. And hopefully we'll get paid for that manuscript we just turned in as well. See, where is our surveying job going to be? Way out at Emerson's Cliff. Okay, right. So if we have the option, it'd be nice to maybe wake up on the far side of the map to be already out there. We'll see.
Many men walk by day, few walk by night. It is a very different season. Chancing to take a memorable walk by moonlight some years ago, I resolved to take more such walks and make acquaintance with another side of nature.
Okay, so from here you can see the Big Dipper a bit more. For anybody who isn't already aware of this trick, you know, Big Dipper's a recognizable constellation, sort of shaped like a big spoon, right? You can see it pretty clearly right here. You can see the ladle and then the bowl of the spoon, right? If you look at the bowl, the stars that compose, the 4 stars that compose the bowl, and you imagine tipping the spoon up, you know, so that the water would pour out, right? Look at the 2 stars that are lowest in this constellation, and imagine this is kind of where things pour out, right, over the edge there. Those 2 stars, if you make an imaginary line between them, and then extend it off to the right. So right over to here, the next bright star that you see is going to be the North Star. So this is how you can determine your way north by the stars. There's north right there. Really visible Milky Way here. Also, I'm noticing like a red dot like straight above us. I wonder, that's interesting. I wonder what that is. Fun to stargaze in a game. Alright, so the new season is just labeled as later years now that we've completed our first year in the first 8 seasons. And so the seasons went rolling on. And here are the passages that we've collected so far. Okay. And we did not unlock the ability to, you know, wake up. Oh yeah, there it is, at Emerson's Cliff. That's what we want. Okay. So, this is a handy little trick now that we've found Emerson's Cliff. What a beautiful place as well. Wow, especially in the early morning. It's just gorgeous up here. Can't tell what these plants are. Oh, but we actually popped up right next to the surveying flag, so how convenient is that? See the equipment over there? This is a really pretty morning with the mist and everything, and how far you can see out over the ponds. Oh, we've got some blueberries here, we can get some food. We do need to increase our fuel stores for sure, and our house needs some maintenance, but I think we can just do the surveying job for now and take care of that. There's that catbird we were talking about. Yeah, I in my last visit here, this was actually just such a kind of magical place for me to, when I visited, you know, I climbed Emerson's Cliff alone, and then, you know, had a snack from my bag up here on top of the cliff. And you don't have a great view out over the pond now because the trees have grown up so tall. I'm sure that's changed over time. And there have been times where you'd really have a great view from up here. It would be really nice to have that view. And Haywood's Meadow also, which you'll pass sort of on the way up towards Emerson's Cliff. Swampy area, marshy area. Train tracks in the background, so the train will occasionally go by, but generally just a really peaceful, quiet place. You can sit on a stump and do some writing. That was actually my last trip, kind of the most meaningful area for me, even more so than Walden Pond, because it gave me a chance to get away from, the other visitors and just enjoy some peace and quiet and see things on my own out there. Pretty sure I saw a beaver that day too, which is something that's only happened to me a couple times in my life. Castor canadensis. Let's grab a few more blueberries. And our surveying job is completed, so we earned $1.50 for that. Okay, we have to tend our bean field today and make sure we get all the way back in time to tend those beans. It's going to be a sprinting challenge. If you don't tend your beans, especially on the first day, the weeds will overtake them. The first 2 days are pretty critical for weeding. And then you got a day of growing, and I think either the day after that or 2 days after that you can finally harvest. So weeding, flowering, and then maybe harvesting, or maybe one day after that. Alright, so since we're way out here at the Red Cross Beach, one of the most populated areas of Walden Pond when you visit today, popular swimming area in the summer. Since we're way out here, I'm going to attempt to get back by boat. This will also slow down time a little while we're out on the water. Let's see if I can do this without getting stuck this time. I'm not sure what happened last time we tried boating. Yeah, so normally this is what happens. I can just, it automatically jumps straight into the map where I want to go. So we're going to pick the one closest to the cabin so we can run up to the bean field. Okay, since we're in the red with our fuel, I'm going to grab some driftwood here. Okay. So we'll come back and take care of those things. Get some more fuel and repair our house. But for now, let's go up and make sure we get weeding in today. The tall anemone again. Alright. Lots of weeding to do. We did manage to get the whole garden planted, unlike the first year's playthrough where we missed a row and some change. Not all of them have dandelions to pluck, but most of them. So the ones that didn't have dandelions, if we had missed today and come back, those would be the ones that were still growing. But any of the ones that had dandelions would have been strangled by weeds. If our spotted salamander's still in the log there. Keep an eye out for woodchucks, am I right? Alright, the whole field has been weeded. So we're good for day 2 of early summer. We'll come check it again in the morning. But for now, grab some huckleberries. And we'll chop some wood and repair our house to end the day, because those are in the red. You get exhausted. It seems like fastest of all the things you can do when you're repairing your house. Pretty close to that, if not the same as, chopping fuel, chopping logs. But when you do it here at the cabin, at least you've got the fire really close by so you can rest again. Less eventful game after the first year of your playthrough because you're not going to be getting quite so many story beats. Unless there's some, apparently, like the one we saw, of Henry and John's boating trip that we missed and that we can still pick up, but certainly nowhere near so much to find story-wise, but still a whole bunch to find in the world itself, depending on how thorough you were in your own playthrough. So I honestly feel like I can fill the whole second year with just wandering around and finding new species and so on.
Regularly at 7:30, in one part of the summer, after the evening train had gone by, the whippoorwills chanted their vespers for half an hour, sitting on a stump by my door, or upon the ridge pole of the house.
We can add the whippoorwill to our list now. You can hear the sound of the crickets. Which takes us back to the start of this playthrough. One of the first sounds that I noticed and pointed out how much I love about, the sound of the crickets in the summer. Field of oxeye daisies and bluets over there.
Interesting.
Our sandbar willow and our cattail. It sounded like we jotted a new entry down, but I didn't see an entry that we hadn't already read. I may be mistaken, but I'm just kind of letting the day wind down now that we've tended our beans and tomorrow we will wake up early, check the bean field, take care of that, and then head into town and see if we have any new mail arrive. Wow, a little stand of birches here that's really pretty. This reminds me of, why I like aspens so much. Those sort of white trunks. And they grow in these big stands, colonal stands. But I have not found any aspens in the game. But it is nice to see the birches here, which remind me of them. And this fern here, this is, which fern is this? So the one close to the ground, the hay-scented fern, like the Dixonia. And then this taller one, I was wondering if we could get it to, too many things all close together here. But, let's see if I can go back through our list. Which one was that? The hay-scented fern was the one close to the ground. It was the bracken fern that was a bit taller, with the, 3 big divisions in the plants. So, looks like a few bracken ferns mixed in. Some blueberries. Alright, day has ended. Can review our new entries. We added the whippoorwill today. Oh, it is a new entry for the cattail. The cattail down puffs and swells in your hand like a mist. For when you have rubbed off but a thimbleful, the expanded down fills your hand overflowing. Okay. We've accumulated 107 pages of the journal as well. One of the achievements is collecting 100 or more journal entries, which we have well exceeded at this point. Every time we wake at this point, once we've crossed the year mark, by the way, we also have the option to leave Walden Pond and see the true, ending of the game. But for now, we're going to continue the game and wake at our cabin. Day 3 of the early summer. Man, the condition of my house is already down quite a bit again. Blue jay flying over. Alright, we're gonna stroll up to the bean field this morning. Have more weeding to do. Okay, the weeding wrapping up, and now we'll head to town and see if we have any mail. Like there's so many arrowheads in the game that we haven't found as well. And of course that also depends on your level of inspiration. So if you went through the game as inspired as you can be, I think there's probably so many more that we could find. And I'm curious kind of like how much of Walden is really in this game. Like how much of the entire book you could reconstruct. Or which, if any passages were left out. It's kind of fun to just explore. I kind of don't want to know the answer. Gives me a reason to come back and keep playing and seeing what else I can discover that I haven't seen before. I realize this game is obviously not everyone's cup of tea, but if you're here and you're listening to this, you have some interest in it. And for those who do enjoy it, it's really something special. Alright, another surveying job. Survey of area of northwestern Walden Woods for woodlot development. Get another $1.50 for this surveying job. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the final surveying job. When you complete this one, you'll get a trophy for surveying all of Walden Pond. We have 2 letters.
Dear friend Thoreau, I trust you have not thought me neglectful with regard to your business. It is only today that I have been able to lay my hand on the money due you from Graham. I have made Graham pay you $12, but only send you 10 to account for my expenses, and shall now stand even with you in money. Thoreau, if you will only write 1 or 2 articles in this spirit, but half the length, I can sell them readily. I remain yours, etc., Horace Greeley.
Alright, so we made $10 more for writing. Putting us up to, drum roll please, $66.17.
Greetings, Mr. Thoreau. I have a rather urgent request from Professor Agassiz to you for a particular species. In order to complete his critically important work on the embryology of the mud turtle, the professor urges you to find him a fresh collection of eggs in their nests within 3 hours of their birth. Can you find as many such nests as you are able along the shore of your pond and rush them to us as you find them via the earliest train to Boston? Of course, if the nests are not yet in season there, we must wait until such time as you can collect them. However, given the importance of this work, we could pay you a generous fee of $2 per nest that arrives safely. Sincerely, James Elliott Cabot, Assistant to Dr. Agassiz, Harvard University.
Okay, I believe this is also the final task for Dr. Agassiz as well. We're going to collect mud turtle eggs. And we might as well head out this direction. Along the railroad. And we're going to check the map here so that we can... let's see. So if I am not mistaken... Oh, before we leave, it looks like we have another manuscript for Greeley at our parents' house. So let's not go too far from town before we grab that. See the arrowhead here on the way?
The Railroad touches the pond about 100 rods south of where I dwell. I usually go to the village along its causeway and am, as it were, related to society by this link.
Okay, let's run over to our home. Check for the manuscript. There we go. Drop that off at the post office. Oh, we've never actually looked at the outgoing mailbox. The penny post is commonly an institution through which you seriously offer a man that penny for his thoughts, which is so often safely offered in jest. I was checking to see if we could see what manuscript he was actually mailing there. But we can't, so good luck whatever we've written. And, okay, so I don't think it really matters which way we go. But, you know what, I think I am going to go this way. So we can stop and do a little maintenance on the house on the way. And, we're going to have a chance to go around the pond again and both complete the surveying job of Walden, and as we go around, keep an eye out for mud turtle eggs. There's something like, if I recall, something like 7 of them that we can find in total. Each one of them, I guess he's going to pay $2 for. So that's a really good source of income as well. Quite a lot more than, you know, you can make something like $14 really quickly, where surveying is, every job of surveying is paying $1.50. Not nearly so good as working for the biologist. And the beans don't make you a ton of money either, but again, if you have a surplus of food and the beans don't go into your food store, they do add something to your income as well. Constantly wonder when I play this game how many little things am I just missing and not noticing, which is a great feeling. I love that feeling. There's more to be discovered, and I've just got to pay closer attention. How I feel when I go on a real hike. Hear the crickets starting up. A sign in summer that the day is waning. See the dark getting a little darker. If our blackberries are ripe. So this is going to wrap up day 3 of early summer, and as with the previous year's playthrough, I'm just going to stick to one season for this video. So as this day ends, our video will wrap up, and if you join in the next video, in part 10, we're going to go mud turtle egg hunting and finish our last surveying job and check on the status of our next publication. Alright, we're in the green there. See an arrowhead shining down by the boat.
When I was 4 years old, as I well remember, I was brought from Boston to this my native town, through these very woods in this field, to the pond. It is one of the oldest scenes stamped on my memory, and now tonight my flute has waked the echoes over that very water.
Checking to see where that surveying job is for tomorrow. And let's see, it looks like I actually don't see it. Have to figure that out as well. Where the actual surveying equipment is located. So I see the chopping stumps are the $2 signs there, but I'm not sure if I can see where the surveying equipment is for the next job. But we'll figure that out in the next episode. For now, the day is ending. We'll have a chance to review our entry. We didn't add much. Something about the railroad, the penny post, and a first visit to Walden Ponds. It's to page 108. Close up. And let's see. We will start where we are. And I will save here, and we'll see you in part 10. All right, thanks for joining.